Welcome to my first ever Bush Shawarma show. Now, this is actually my, I don't know, fifth or sixth channel. Unfortunately, I won't be able to continue doing this weekly, so we're gonna be doing it once a month. So I'm gonna try to jump pack a whole entire good show for you guys to watch once a month. Once I have enough time and enough content, I'm gonna be doing it weekly. But for short, I'm gonna be doing it weekly. It's gonna be a good show, and it is within the name, Boost Shawarma. It will be a lot of boost. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be working on my first cars. It's not boosted, but it's well known within the industry. I had it since 2017. Unfortunately, I don't make enough. Bought it, didn't know what's wrong with it. Just like any first time experience, it's a problem. I will live forever. I will never forget it. Turned out to be it was rusted. Fixed it. There was another rust. I had to fix it. Now it's all duct tape. The whole entire truck lid is just holding together by duct tape. It's been holding quite well. I drove in a certain public road and it stayed in place. Not ideal. It's gonna need to be fixed, so I can't leave it like that for the rest of my life. But it's gonna be a build series, and I want you guys to give me ideas, a variety of names, what to name this car. I do have something called White Elephant, so sooner or later I'm gonna show it to you guys. But for now, we're gonna stick with this car. This car needs to be up and running. I live in a certain neighborhood that requires the car to be up and running. I cannot have it taped like that. So it needs to be fixed. The car is up and running. It does move by its own power. Unfortunately, the transmission, the reverse doesn't work quite well. It grinds when I go to reverse. I have to go forward just slightly, 1 to 2 miles per hour, and then I put it in reverse and it pops right in and it works fine. So I'm gonna replace the transmission. I did find one on Facebook Marketplace. It was $60K and it was for $600. It was one hell of a deal. Now, usually people go for T56, but instead I decided to stick around with the T45 because I did test out a T56. There's no difference between a T45 and a T56 and the TR36, the TR3650. The gear ratio is the same, shift the same, everything feels the same. There's literally no difference between them. But the car is now overpowered, so having those extra gears doesn't really matter. The T56, the fifth and sixth is basically overdrive. So when you have the T45, fifth gear is overdrive. If you take it to a ratio, I can get to 140 miles per hour. When you shift it to fifth gear, it's the same thing as T56. You shift to fifth gear, doesn't really matter. It's the same thing as overdrive. You can't really go on beyond that point. So in my opinion, if you have T56 and people go to that route, just so you guys can save some money, you need to change the fifth gear from overdrive to regular gear ratio. So it's very, very beneficial. Unfortunately, it's an overdrive. It's the same thing as sixth gear. So it's kind of pointless. TR3650, T45, same. No different, unless otherwise. A little record about me, since this is the first show. I do work as a mechanic. But I'm getting very tired at it. So I'm looking for a new opportunity so I can open up a new path for my future. So my primary job is actually painting vehicles. Unfortunately, living where I live, I cannot do anything like that, especially in California. Low VOC, there's so many rules, on and on and on. So I'm not allowed to actually have fun on my off days painting cars. People assume that I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I am getting tired of it because I'm looking for new opportunities so I can make even more in income. But unfortunately, there's a plateau and I'm hitting the threshold where I work at the moment. And the mental health tend to go even further. So I don't hate management. I don't hate people. I don't hate my job. I'm just looking forward for a new future. So I hope whoever subscribed, stick around. I really do appreciate it. You guys are the best. If you guys are looking for suspension, for a suspension at an affordable price with outstanding warranty, Recline. Not everything is on there, so you can make a request. They can actually work on making you guys suspension for your current car. My Cobra that I own, they do have the front suspension, but unfortunately they didn't have the rear. So I've been in talk with them about making some type of rear suspension. I prefer Clovers, but you guys know the independent rear suspension on the Cobra is very rare. So I kind of don't want to lose it. So I don't know if they can actually make me a shock sooner or later. But I am going to talk. I keep you guys updated if they are actually willing to make a suspension for my particular car. Use my link down below. Now, as you guys know, I'm already a mechanic. So we're going to be working in order. We're not going to be making a lot of mess. When you work alone and you work by yourself, you're going to have to bag everything. So all the mechanic, I always stated it, so you always have to do that. Now for me, since I bought that transmission, today we're just gonna take it apart to make sure there's no gear that's being grinded, because there's no warranties on it. And then we'll go from there if we need to rebuild it or buy part to actually make a replacement. Stay tuned. There is an upgrade I can actually add to it that's gonna be able to boost it to 800 torque rating. So, hooray. You get to use the T45 for cheap. This is the basic tool you're gonna need. I have a plastic bag because we're dealing with transmission. I don't know how long this thing been sitting and what's inside of it, so we might need to use this just in case it leaks. A scissor for that. This one, if there's any connected as require something to remove. Most likely you don't need it in transmission layout, but it's there. This is a ratchet. This one is actually broken, so this is just to replace that. Now, this is a ratchet, also a breaker bar. I bought this from Hyperfight. I'm not entirely sure how much I spent for it, but there's an extension to it, just in case you need some torque leverage. I have an impact gun, an impact tool, I'm sorry, an impact ratchet, but unfortunately it's old school and it's really large. It's like almost half of the table. I need to actually replace it somehow, but I never really needed an impact gun. Anyways, we have impact socket and also impact extension, just in case we need to reach some bolt. As you guys can see, it's actually small, so you're gonna need some to make it easier. Anyways, this is your basic tool you're gonna need. You're not gonna need all of them. Maybe whatever deep socket for those bolt. I think all the bolts is the same, except for this is like smaller, and this is different than those, or might have been the same. I'm not entirely sure, but there's a plastic that connects this to the shaft inside, so you might need to replace it. So we're gonna check that first. This is an OEM shifter, so it's not an aftermarket. It's a 13. I have my breaker bar. Nice. Have a nice even wear to it. And the plastic piece in here is actually in good condition, which is a good sign. The wear on this is actually perfect. It's actually in perfect condition. Both items in perfect tip-top shape. We can also put in a part of the part list to order, but for now, this is a good sign. It looked like this transmission was well taken care of. Excuse me, girl. I'm not gonna use a regular tool. I'm gonna use this and try to speed through the process. This is the locking pin. I can't get this locking pin out, so I won't be able to see how it will look like from here to here. So far everything looks good and it's checked out, so I'm gonna torque it back up again until I get the proper tool to get this pin lock out or search it somehow. But so far so good. From the look of things, Let me show you guys exactly how it looks on the inside. Because this is the max I can actually get it to open. Actually, it looks pretty good. I'm actually happy with it. I don't know if I can actually turn the lights on for this. Look good to me. Don't do what I do what I said. All right, this thing is very heavy, so be careful how you tip it over. All right, now we're gonna bring you guys down low. Ooh, that was the thing. I wasn't expecting it to happen. All right, good job. Ah, man. This thing will absorb everything down there. Where's that towel? I was like, I wasn't expecting this to happen. All right. From closer look inspection, it looked really, really bad. But this is like surface problem. You can actually brush it off. It's gonna look okay. This is aluminum, so it doesn't rust as bad. Now, for preventive maintenance, whenever you do any transmission, especially rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive for mid engines, it's the same thing. Fall is to change this if it's not a single casting. Okay, this is actually welded somewhere in the center over here, so we're gonna see exactly how it looks when we remove the belt housing. But for now, we're gonna just unbolt all those bolts. I already untorqued them, so this should be easy to come off. Looks like we got everything. All right, everything seemed to be okay. Oh, that thing actually fall off. See, there's a shimp there also, which is something to be considered because we were thinking about upgrading it, which is this shim right here. So there's going to be a challenge. You also deal with the same thing whenever you do a T56. So let's see, this is pressed in. This is also not pressed in. I can move it a little. You guys can't tell, but I can move it just slightly. Some transmission fluid is falling off. There's no crack in the casing, so everything looks good. So I like what I'm seeing right now. So let's set this aside. The import shaft. So these things have problem with 3 and 4 import shaft being broken. Upon further inspection, it looks okay. There's nothing wrong with it. This is the only thing that's like in question. It's kind of rusty. So far, so good. There's no grinding in the teeth. There's no chip in the teeth. Everything looks good. I like what I'm seeing. This transmission checked out. All right. I better not get hit for this in the comment. I'm gonna be using this to reassemble. No, I'm not gonna reassemble and gonna put this in the car. This reassembly is just to make sure none of the bearings get grinded down when I'm putting it back. I inspected it. We know we're gonna replace this. We're gonna buy another bearings to replace this as well. Everything looked really, really good. For life me, I cannot remove this. So I'm gonna have to find somebody who knows, who have a press, so can be able to press this out. It looks OEM. It's a little goldish, so it might have been replaced already, but it's rusted from the inside. I don't think the camera can actually pick it up how nasty it is from the inside, but we're gonna have to replace it. I'm not gonna seal it. I'm just gonna put it back together until I get the parts and put it back together. Now, this is the thing I need right now for reassembly. Like I said, don't hate me for this in the comment, but if you feel it's necessary for me to get hated on, go for it. I'll be okay. All right, this is motor oil. I'm gonna put some more, and I'm gonna put some on here too. It's actually very, very rough. I need to actually clean it some more. But the idea why I put motor oil is to make it very, very smooth so you can actually move around. Anyways, this stuff will be removed next time we assemble this again. If you guys think I did bad things, let your mechanic friends know how bad of a mechanic I am. I'm interested to hear exactly what you guys are going to say about this. I hear a lot of filth behind this. I don't like how this thing stands at the moment. But the idea is to have some type of fluid for now until real reassembly happens again. All right, very, very smooth. And there's some type of fluid to make sure nothing actually is gonna continue grinding in the long run. Gotta put some fluid in here too. And we're off to the races. All right. I'm gonna put some in the import shaft. Just a little dab right here, a little dab right here, a little dab right here. Please don't hate me in the comment for this. All right, we're gonna put this thing back together and order the parts and put it back together. Hopefully everything checked out. All right. Now this didn't have a dowel, so you should not be missing how to install this at all. If we do, we're gonna have a problem with you. All right. Now, there's a torque rating for this, but I'm not gonna torque it because we're gonna disassemble it in the future. I'm gonna set this to 8. I don't know what the torque rating for Milwaukee M18, and we're just gonna go to town with it. We're gonna start at the low bottom to secure it first. And one at the top. 1 o'clock position. All right, this should be good. I'm gonna go through it. All right. Now this is a couple of days later, and I got the parts in. So you guys can see right here. Shout out to Lashbrook Built. I'm not sponsored or anything, but that's what I got the part from. If you need the same thing, this is exactly who you call so you can get the parts. This thing is for the sleeve. This thing for the 36 spline. It's a nice shiny part, and this is meant for the T45. They both go hand in hand. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to find a way to press it in. So let's go to Harbor Freight, see what they got, see if I can buy something or rent something. I'm not entirely sure. Most likely I might end up buying it and just keeping it for the long run. There's gonna be a lot of automotive contests. We're gonna need a press to be at the shop. We made it to Harbor Freight. Quality 2 at the lowest price. It really is. They're reliable, it works, and it's very cheap. That's the only thing I live in the United States. Everything made in China. So I don't know how long this is gonna last. So we'll see. Unfortunately for the transmission, I think I might have to go another route. The press that I've seen at Harbor Freight is very large, and you guys can see from over here, there's barely any more space. And I have another car. If you guys can tell from these two scoop, it's something very special. So stay tuned for that. This is gonna be a long project. But first we gotta work on the first car. Anyways, I do not have any more space. So I have to go for another direction. I have 3 options. The company that actually sold me the upgrade part, they can also rebuild the transmission with the added upgrade. There's another website that also does the same thing, but it's more around 2090. And there's also my old option, that the one I know, and that thing is located in Hayward, California, and they call it standard transmission. All they do is manual transmission, and they call me for $1,500. I can give them the transmission, and they upgrade it with the upgraded part that I have. It is gonna be for free, and it is gonna be ready with a new synchro similar to T56, so it should be reliable. So we'll see if I'm gonna go that direction. I'm gonna be in talk with them, see what kind of options they have. Instead of just rebuilding, maybe just install it instead to make it easier and faster, or maybe rebuild the old one and sell the one sitting there, and it's only 60K miles. Or the last option, find another shop that have a press, and then give them the transmission so they can press it and press things for me, and it's a lot more easier and cheaper. But I need to find somebody who does that. This is my first ever show. I'm supposed to keep this in the background so you guys don't know what kind of car it is, but this is my long-term project, so you guys are gonna enjoy this portion. But first thing first, I gotta rebuild the original 99 Cobra. It was my first car, and I had it for a while, and it needs some love because I haven't actually touched it in a long time, and it needs to get upgraded into today's standards. At least even the seats are fully ripped. I didn't actually record it, so I'm gonna record some more of that, show you guys more about the car, and give you a little more history about what the car is. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I appreciate you guys following. Until then, later. Sorry. As you can see, it's a fitness center. I'm huffing and puffing. You know, if you know, you know. Welcome aboard.